You ever have that feeling like you're constantly running out of time for the things that you really care about? You know, that big project, that new skill you want to learn, that business idea? Well, you are definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact feeling head on. We're going to unlock a totally new way of thinking about your day. And it all starts with one simple but honestly game-changing idea. Okay, it all starts right here with this really profound idea. I want you to just let this one sink in for a second. We're always told the clock is the enemy, right? That there just aren't enough hours in the day. But what if that's not actually the problem? What if the issue isn't time at all? See, here's the punchline. The real issue is that you're short on clarity. It's not about the number of hours you have. It's about not having a clear, intentional plan for how you're going to use them. Because when you don't know exactly what you should be doing and why, every single minute can feel wasted. Clarity, that's the real currency of productivity. So does this whole scene look a little familiar? Over here, you've got these incredible personal goals. You want to learn a new language, start that side hustle, but then on the other side, you've got the daily grind, work, errands, all the obligations that just leave you feeling completely drained. And by the time you finally get a moment to yourself, there's no energy left to even think about starting. So what's the solution then? Well, it takes a pretty big shift in how you think about things. Instead of just, waiting around for motivation to strike like lightning, you have to become the architect of your day. You have to proactively build a structure where your purpose is the foundation, not just some afterthought. And this is where the real power of a clear plan comes in. It doesn't just organize your tasks, it actually saves your mental energy. It lets you get through your obligations efficiently, so you're not just a zombie by the end of the day. You actually have some fuel left in the tank to go after what truly excites you. And to help you become that architect, we've put together a toolkit. We're going to walk through 7 different proven methods you can start using right away to bring that clarity and focus into your daily routine. First up is the Ivy Lee method. This thing is over a century old and it's beautifully simple. At the end of each day, you just list the 6 most important things you need to do tomorrow. Then you rank them by priority. The next day, you start with number 1, and here's the key. You don't even look at number 2 until number 1 is completely done. Honestly, this method is like the perfect antidote to chaos. It forces you to get real about your priorities and commit to doing one thing at a time. So if you're someone who feels pulled in a million directions and you can never decide what to do next, this is the perfect tool to bring back that laser focus. Next, we have the famous Pomodoro Technique. This one is all about working in a rhythm. You commit to a super focused 25-minute sprint on a single task, no distractions. Then you take a mandatory 5-minute break. After you do 4 of these Pomodoros, you get a longer break. It's an absolute game changer for preventing burnout. Its real strength is that it works with your brain's natural tendencies, not against them. It's designed for anyone whose attention starts to wander during those long work sessions. Those little 5-minute breaks act like a mental reset, keeping you fresh and engaged for the next sprint. Okay, next up is the 80-20 rule, sometimes called the Pareto principle. This idea says that in almost anything, the vast majority of your results, we're talking like 80%, come from just a small fraction of your effort, around 20%. I mean, think about that. Most of what you're doing probably isn't what's really moving the needle. So the whole goal here is to basically become a detective and find that powerful 20%. What are the few activities that give you the biggest bang for your buck? Once you find that 20%, you focus your energy there, and you can dramatically cut down the time you waste on all that low-impact stuff. Now let's get into a little bit of psychology with something called Parkinson's law. It's the idea that work will always expand to fill the time you give it. You know how this goes, right? If you give yourself a whole week for a 2-hour task, somehow it takes the whole week. So the trick is to flip this on its head. Set short, almost aggressive deadlines for yourself, and you'll be amazed at how sharp your focus gets. This makes it the ultimate weapon against procrastination. By creating your own sense of urgency with those short deadlines, you just eliminate the time you would have normally wasted putting things off. You basically force yourself to get more efficient. Alright, let's talk about the MIT method. And no, I don't mean the university. It stands for your most important tasks. Every morning you just identify 1 to 3 things that are absolutely critical. That's it. Your main goal for the day is just to get those done. The beauty of this is that it's like a daily insurance policy for making progress. Even if the rest of your day just goes completely off the rails with meetings and emergencies, you've already won. You've gotten a win on what truly matters. It guarantees you're always moving forward on your biggest priorities. This next one has a pretty memorable name: Eat That Frog. The idea is simple. Identify your single biggest, hardest, most dreaded task of the day, batch your frog, and you do it first thing in the morning, before anything else. And what's amazing is, once you've eaten that frog, you get this incredible momentum. The hardest part of your day is already behind you, and everything else just feels easier. It's the perfect strategy for anyone who lets that one big, scary task hang over their head all day, just draining their energy. And our final technique is the rule of 3. So instead of having one of those massive, overwhelming to-do lists, you simplify everything. At the start of the day, you define just 3 specific, meaningful outcomes you want to achieve by the time it's all over. This method is absolutely perfect for cutting through the noise of a never-ending task list. If you get overwhelmed just looking at everything you have to do, this boils it all down. It keeps your day manageable and makes sure your energy is laser-focused on just a few essential things. So there you have it, 7 really powerful techniques. But knowledge without action is just trivia. So we're going to end this with a really simple challenge to help you move from just learning about these ideas to actually putting them to work. Your first step couldn't be simpler. Don't, and I mean don't try to do all 7 at once. That's just a recipe for disaster. Just look back over the list we just went through and pick the one that really resonated with you. The one that made you think, yeah, that's what I need. Just one. And step 2, commit to it. Give your chosen method a real, honest shot for a full 7 days. See how you feel, track what you get done, and just notice what kind of a difference a little bit of intentional clarity can make in your life. And that brings us to the final, most important question, the one you're going to answer for yourself this week. Which one of these techniques is going to be your key, the one that unlocks your focus and helps you finally start using your time for what really matters to you? Your 1-week experiment, it starts right now.